Our country is known for a lot of variations and variety that we can offer. So is the same case with the scooters. We saw the Bajaj Chetak come in, and then it got discontinued, and then it turned into electric. Then the second most named scooter was the Honda Activa that came, and the evolution was a motor scooter named the Honda Navi. Then came Yamaha, and they gave us the 110s and the 125s, which are pretty brilliant. And now they've come up with this, the Yamaha Aerox 155. This is an evolution which I think is done just right. This is the true sports scooter in the Indian market after a really long time. And let's begin with the review of the Yamaha Aerox. As you can see, this scooter is extremely radical in its design and the way everything is done, and it's a pretty big scooter, substantial looking scooter, but at the same time it's not really big. Let's look at this front apron here. It pops out quite well. It looks very big, very substantial, very chunky. These are the LED DRLs. There are LED lights on the inside, and as you can see, there is some texture running around here in terms of plastic to give that premium feel. There is a color pattern here, so the wheels are orange, the mudguard is white, and there's the body color which is mostly grey. Along then comes this Y-shape panel here, which has the Aerox written on it, and this angle here completely gives it a look of an international scooter. It clearly grabs a lot of attention. People now obviously know what it is, but they're still curious to know what this is actually. In the first place, they know it's a scooter, it's a bigger scooter. They want to know whether it's imported or whether the company is finally selling it here. So that is the kind of attention that the scooter gets on our roads. And as you can see, that is the floorboard. I think my feet were doing just right. Somebody with much larger feet won't be able to hold on quite well. And this is the seat. It's quite big, very generous. A rider like me who's slightly on the heavier side also finds this very, very comfortable. The back seat is just fine for short trips for almost anybody, but not any long trips. Let's say if you're roaming around within your own city, it's fine, but if you want to plan to go to a different town, maybe it won't be ideal because there's also not much to grab onto. There is a grab handle below here, but it doesn't inspire much confidence for a very long journey. Huge exhaust, huge heat shield on it, and as you can see, that's how the rear frame is done. The entire frame here, as you can see below, is also in piano black. Let's get on with the scooter, and this is the key, slightly different than usual Yamahas. Let's turn it on. As you can see, there is a lot of information here. It has the Yamaha Connect, so you can see a lot of those options over here and here, and that's the fuel gauge, that's the odometer, and surprisingly the headlight pass button is used as the button to navigate through all these things, features. So as you can see, there are these two trip meters. That's the eco and fuel economy mode. That's the average fuel efficiency that it's showing. That's the battery voltage, trip, that's the Bluetooth, and that's the odometer. That's the clock over there. So this is one of those, I think this is the first Yamaha with the entire set of features that we've seen in a very long time. And that is the switch gear. That's the hybrid start-stop system that we've seen in most Yamaha scooters. Start button over here, and everything is quite easy in terms of the fuel and seat. As you can see, there is a button here. So to open either of these two things, you have to keep it on open here, and then as you can see, it pops out like this and makes things easier. That's the fuel cap there, and it holds 5.5 liters. Let's open the seat and show you. There is a lot of space to keep a lot of stuff, but a full-size helmet will fit in, but after that there's not much space left, and I think if there is it might not entirely be safe in the way the helmet is put in, because it might get some scratches or something like that. And as you can see, like I told you, the Yamaha Motorcycle Connect is here. That's the device should be there on the inside, and that's the VIN number plate. That's how you remove it. You can see the chassis number, and yeah, that's a lot of space to keep a lot of stuff on a daily basis. And the full face helmet also should do just fine. Half face helmets will definitely make it in. And as you can see, the rear, that's the tail lamp here. Minimalist, but it's an LED unit, so everything is LED here, and I think that's fantastic. You do get a main stand, which should be a welcome move for the everyday commuters. And yeah, that's what the Yamaha Aerox is all about. It's a very nice looking scooter. It grabs attention. It looks spectacular in every single angle in the way you look at it, and There's a lot of practicality on offer. And now let's discuss what it is like to ride. So what is it like to ride? Well, let's discuss the dynamics, because I think that is the highlight of this fantastic Yamaha Aerox 155. The suspension is on the stiffer side, and there are 14-inch wheels at the front and at the back. You've got a very large 140 section tire at the back, and there's a 120 section tire at the front, which is unseen in the scooter space. Of course, we have 14-inch wheels on the Aprilia, but the tire size is quite big, of course, on this one. And how does it ride? Well, let's discuss the ride quality, because it is quite stiff. There is a hint of compliance. There's not a lot of compliance in the suspension, so it will go in potholes. And if you're, let's say, a normal heighted and weight rider, you will feel that it's a lot stiffer. But then slightly heavier riders and much heavier riders will kind of adjust to that, because most suspensions do feel soft to them. And that is what me and my colleague noticed, is that he thought that the scooter was extremely stiff, while I thought that there was a hint of compliance, and it was manageable to a certain extent, also because we've ridden KTMs of the past, so we know how to deal with stiff suspension. And that is also something we've gotten used to over the last decade. And but nevertheless, the suspension is stiff. It is going to feel our uneven concrete roads are going to put some feedback, especially through the back. The front is still slightly more compliant than the rear, and that is what makes the Aerox go around twisties with such confidence that you can just push this motorcycle. That's what makes you feel like that it's a motorcycle. You can just keep on pushing it hard, and there's a lot of grip on offer. The chassis is fantastic in true Yamaha tradition, and its center of gravity and the low center of gravity, the way it's done, it's fantastic, because even at the lowest of speeds, the scooter does not tumble like any other scooter in this segment. So the riding at even lower speeds is not going to be an issue. High speed also is well taken care of. We did quite a lot of runs around 100 and 110 and 120 kilometers an hour on empty roads, and the stability was spot on. There was hardly anything noticed by any of our colleagues who are heavy and light at the same time. So in that aspect, Yamaha's gotten pretty right. And despite it's quite stiff, but it doesn't feel skittish. That's where the Yamaha DNA kicks in and tells you that this scooter is fantastic to ride. And there is no real scooter which goes this fast and handles this well. This is the reason why the Yamaha Aerox, which is quite practical but not entirely practical, but will still appeal to a lot of enthusiasts. This is going to be a second or a third vehicle in the motorcycle enthusiast garage, because it is just fantastic to live with. It's got a lot of mid-range, lot of power. The engine is smooth and refined. We know this Yamaha engine is Yamaha R15 engine never disappoints. With this CVT gearbox and slightly less power and torque over the R15, it still is an absolute gem. The CVT has been tuned in a very special way so that you get good low end and mid range, and there is a decent amount of top end torque as well. Like I told you, we did 100, 120, so that was, and the engine did not feel stressed, let's say after 100, 105. Post that, it did feel a bit stressed, and I think that has to do with the crosswinds and everything else. But if the road is right and the winds are right, it can do 120 kilometers an hour quite easily. Braking pretty good. It's got ABS and to back it up. And the highlight with the R15 engine always has been the reliability and the fuel economy. Of course, we can't comment on the reliability now because it's a new thing. We've never come across an engine from the R15 made it to a CVT, but given Yamaha, it's going to be pretty good. And the fuel economy deserves a special mention. It's still giving around 28 to 34 kilometers to the liter, and I think that's fantastic. In our Mumbai-Pune run, we saw that fuel economy, and that's very, very good. Given the kind of performance the scooter has, the kind of weight it has. It's actually quite light at 126 kgs. Given it's a 155cc scooter making 15 PS of power and 14 Newton meters of torque, I think it's done just right. And that's it. That's how we would sum up the Yamaha Aerox 155. It's a fantastic scooter to look at, to ride. I think the pricing is almost justified. It could have been slightly cheaper, but then again, what you're getting here is a product which is just going to put a smile every time you either look at it or ride it, and it's going to be practical for your everyday chores as well. So it's a win-win situation for Yamaha and the prospective customers who are going to buy this scooter. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Make sure you like it. If you still have some questions, put them in the comment section below. Subscribe, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.